Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 14, The Forest of Enjoyment, text 28. Sometimes the conditioned soul is attracted by illusion personified, his wife or girlfriend, and becomes eager to be embraced by a woman. Thus he loses intelligence as well as knowledge of life's goal. At that time, no longer attempting spiritual cultivation, he becomes overly attached to his wife or girlfriend and tries to provide her with a suitable apartment. Again, he becomes very busy under the shelter of that home and is captivated by the talks, glances, and activities of his wife and children. In this way, he loses his Krishna consciousness and throws himself in the dense darkness of material existence. So, Srila Prabhupada in his purport explains to us about male and female. People sometimes will quote different verses from Vedic literature, which implies that the women should be stay quiet at home and just serve her husband and family and do nothing else. But clearly, from that is only from the occupation point of view and refers to a particular time, place, and circumstance. We can see from Srila Prabhupada's purport what he actually thinks of men and women. He says they are both Prakriti, actually female. They are supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna. That means the service of both men and women is meant for Krishna. That is the purpose for which we are created. Therefore, both are actually called Prakriti. But instead, what has happened is that both want to enjoy the other and superficially they act as if they are Purusha. So there is no real Purusha in the material world. It is only Krishna who's Purusha. There is no other Purusha. So we must not take shelter of different kinds of quotations to try to demean the position of women. Instead, we should understand that both are actually Prakriti. The other part of it is how both are actually trying to enjoy. Both are trying to act like Purusha. That means each is trying to get sense gratification from the other. Sense gratification is only in a material way. And this material sense gratification results in both of them taking each other down into the material pool, as Shukadeva Goswami has mentioned. Each tries to captivate the other for material enjoyment, and then they become fully busy in trying to earn more money in order to have apartment and so many other which are required, and then children, and then looking after the children. Or in modern days, things, all sorts of different kinds of culture prevail where they don't even want to have children, but they just want to exploit each other. So all these things are condemned by Shukadeva Goswami, that this is not the way to live. So many times we find devotees say that this is all I can do no more because I have got so many family commitments. So we need to remember what Shukadeva Goswami is telling us and what we learn from the Bhagavatam about what is the priority of family commitments, what are real family commitments. The real family commitment is to take the family back home, back to Godhead. That is a family commitment. So, if our priority is family commitment, then our priority has to be to take the family back home, back to Godhead. But also, we belong to Srila Prabhupada's movement where he doesn't want us just stay selfishly focused on our family. Even if it is a focus is only on taking the family back home, back to Godhead, Srila Prabhupada doesn't accept that. He has created this movement because that kind of life is available in any Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created this Sampradaya separately to bring out the cult of preaching, that we will not be focused inwardly just looking at our family or society or country, but we will focus outwards on preaching to every town and village in the world. So any follower of ISKCON, of Srila Prabhupada, must give full attention to preaching outside and also taking his family back home, back to Godhead in a proper balance. And we should remember that in this Purushottam month, how Guru Maharaja has emphasized that he wants us to give this deep love of Prabhupada to the whole world. And therefore, this is a very good opportunity when we should do a lot of outreach programs. The instructions have been given in detail. There's a particular song which should be sung instead of Damodarashtakam. For this particular month, there's a song which he has given. And if we sing this song, then we'll be pleasing Guru Maharaja, we'll be doing preaching, and we'll be properly engaged and not just focused on our family, but in focusing on the outside world, on the conditioned souls also. Hare Krishna.